Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back today to do a tea and charm reading. I don't know if I've combined these two on this channel. Today I felt like doing something different, and today, the sun moved into Sagittarius, so I'm super excited. Sagittarius is a sign about optimism and expansion and learning and travel and kind of having a little bit of wildness. And so I decided to pull some charms. And I'm reading yerba mate and strawberry tea today. And I'm just going to look to see in combination like what messages I get. And for those of you who are new, you are more than welcome to book a reading with me. All the links are in the description box on how to do that. If you'd like to give me something for Christmas, because we have Christmas coming up, and we're almost in December. I can't even believe it. My P.O. Box address is in the description box as well. If you'd like to send me a gift card or a greeting card, you can also send that to my P.O. Box. Everything's in the description box. And I'm still open for private readings. So I may change the pricing. So definitely want to check out pricing, especially around Black Friday. Okay. And ultimately, I am just, letting everybody know if they want to gift somebody a reading, they can do that. Just specify in the notes. And I really just wanted to see, okay, like what are the optimistic messages? What are the messages here for Sagittarius season? I've done a lot of other readings for this time period specifically, but I was like, okay, I really have to read today for some reason. I felt like, okay, I have to read. So I'm just going to look to see what I get in the tea first, and then also look to see in the messages and the charms. I do appreciate all likes, subscribes, and dropping a heart in the comments or making a comment. I appreciate all that. It helps my channel so much. For those of you who are new, thank you so much for stopping by and supporting this work. I appreciate everybody who has supported my work in the past. And I appreciate all donations. I tell everybody that there is no monetization across all of my platforms. So essentially, I make nothing from these readings unless somebody books a reading or donates. And so I appreciate all donations at this time. Thank you guys so much for being amazing fans and followers. So like I wanted to check out to see what the messages were going to come through. I feel like there's some tough messages coming through the charms, but I'm also just going to check to see the tea first, what I get, because strawberry tea is very sweet, and sometimes the messages that can come through here or with a sweeter tea can be more positive. So let me take a look. I'm kind of looking for things to look forward to. I see a lot of you really getting organized, like really pulling your, stuff together. Maybe making some lists, maybe going through things, maybe selling some things, maybe making some things to sell as well. I felt it yesterday where all of a sudden I feel like the fog was lifting, okay? As far as the energy, the fog of Saturn and Pisces, we still have until February, but it's not that much farther. That's like really like 3 months, 2 months, 2.5 months. So it's really not that bad. And I feel like the fog is really going to start to lift, and there's a lot of clarity coming through already. I can feel it. So many of you are going to feel pulled to go someplace, or pulled to be like, I feel called to go back to school, or I feel called to, go through your stuff and get organized, or I feel called to make a list and think about my goals. For some of you, this is getting into the holiday spirit and maybe getting organized for guests, or maybe getting organized for like how you want to, do things maybe a little bit differently next year. For some of you, maybe making changes to your workout routine or workout habits, sleep habits. I feel like some of you, it's it's like a pulling though also. Like I feel like some of you are going to be called to go someplace, or maybe it's a travel, thing, or for some of you it's maybe being called or pulled to go visit someone. I feel like it could be a friend or family member or just someone you care about. For those of you who are in long distance relationships, I feel like you might feel, I don't know, like all of a sudden you're just gonna jump on a plane and go see someone, or you feel like kind of just more in the mood to get up and go. And that is very Sagittarius. That's very Sagittarius energy. Okay, that energy of get up and go, like a horse kind of rearing up and going, okay, like I just want to be free. For some of you, this is embracing, this freedom element. For some of you, embracing new opportunities, embracing whatever freedom elements you have. So the freedom to go hang out with a friend, or the freedom to get up and go for like a car ride somewhere or a trip somewhere. I'm seeing a waterfall for some reason. I'm seeing like maybe doing some touristy type stuff for some of you, getting up and going. And I feel like you're going to be passing through like a snowy area. So for some of you, different areas of the world, but I feel like there's a snowy area. I'm seeing snow on trees. It might be that time when you travel, or for some of you, you might be going like skiing, or you might be like going snowboarding, or doing some winter sport activities, or doing some wintertime activities, maybe going and staying at a lodge somewhere, and doing winter activities. I see a lot of really good food, really good like beer or wine. For some of you might do like some kind of wine tasting, or something like that, or beer tasting. I don't know, it like reminds me of like a beer tour, or like just like one of those places, you go maybe like in the Swiss Alps or something, and you go skiing, and then you get like a pizza and a beer. It has an outdoorsy vibe as well, so for some of you, like you might do some maybe like hiking. I'm seeing hiking, and or like really doing a lot of physical activity, but then maybe ordering a pizza, and or I don't know, going out for a drink somewhere. For those of you who don't drink, okay, this does not necessarily mean this is the only thing I'm seeing here. Like for many of you who don't drink, you're still going to be either traveling through a snowy area or going on a trip somewhere where there's snow, and maybe sleet, and but it feels very positive and very warm at the same time. So it just reminds me of like a skiing trip, or like a snowboarding trip. For many of you, this is vacation. Okay, this could be like your Christmas vacation or winter vacation, or for some of you, like some kind of winter break, if there's like a winter break for school. For some of you, okay, so this is like also like for some of you who are into food, like I feel like you're going to do like a food crawl. Like you're going to go to like multiple places and try different things. For some of you, I actually see some places like in Japan. I'm seeing like ice cream in Japan, or like a street food kind of thing, where you go up to someplace on the street and you order something. I see you trying a lot of sweet ice creams, or like even eating sweet ice creams. Got to watch out for your sweet tooth here during Sagittarius season, because a lot of us can gain weight during this time. I do feel like you might be like just like have more cravings for ice cream or cravings for sweet things during this period of time. So just kind of watch your sugar intake, okay? I'm seeing also chocolate cake. You might have some cravings, You also might do a lot with food. So like some of you might be like a food blogger, or you might be cooking a lot during this period of time for a lot of people, or you might be cooking just for yourself. There's a lot of messages here around food that are coming through, interestingly enough. I do see a lot of pastries. So some of you going to like maybe a cafe somewhere and trying some pastries. this also reminds me that during this period of time, a lot of people can get seasonal depression. And I usually tell people to go someplace that has pastries. Order, you can get a decaf coffee or a matcha latte instead and get like a pastry, and that'll pick up your mood. You need to do focus on things that are going to pick up your mood. And I am seeing matcha latte, and I am seeing also like sweet pastries or muffins or like even like a small piece of cake. That sugar is going to give you a little bit of a jump start to your energy. I'm not saying like to go out and eat that every day, but I'm saying, this is like the vibe that I'm getting. Okay, I want to look at the charms here. It's interesting that the tea actually is really very positive, and the charms in contrast are a little bit more challenging. I want to read some of the more challenging elements first. And actually, I don't feel like it's actually really bad. It just feels more challenging than maybe you're expecting it to be. So, and this is right on point with some of the other readings I did for December. So, December might be more of a challenging month than you're expecting. However, I do feel like everybody's going to get through it okay. And I feel like for most of you, like, I want to say some of you have had to be really strong. You've had to really look out for yourself. And you've had to like overcome a lot of challenges and tests, and things have not been easy. We have the pink pig here, which always represents, hard medical stuff or something in life that you have to go through that's hard. So some of you, you may have had some kind of difficult medical stuff recently. Some of your family may have had some difficult medical stuff. This is where you don't really have the support you need. Also, the pink pig represents needing to go through stuff in life that's really hard and becoming the adult. So for some of you, it's like either, you've been through a period of time where you've had to do that, or you're going to. Now, I feel like for most of you, because it's on the periphery, it feels like for most of you, this is something that you've had to deal with. And for some of you might have had some element of restrictiveness with. So like, for example, if the doctor says, okay, you can only do this, that, and the other thing, then you have a restriction. I feel like, or like say, like it could even be like sports injury. I'm seeing someone in like a boot cast. Like if they're, if you've had any kind of sports injury, okay, that's limiting because you can't just go, bicycling if you had a sports injury. Now, for some of you, this is like recovering from that. Now, I'm not saying like all of you are going to be in the same phase of recovery, but I feel like some of you are going to be recovering from that. I also feel, strangely enough, we have this seashell here, and that usually represents noise. And so for some of you, if you are trying to recover or you are trying to sleep, it might be frustrating time because it might be more of a noisy time, or there might be like, say you were in the hospital or something, there might be a lot of people around you or a lot of noise around you or a lot of things going by. Now, I have to say that once Saturn goes direct in Pisces, there's going to be less noise slowly but surely as we get to February. Whatever the noise levels have been, they're going to come down. Okay, that's a positive thing. I feel that for some of you, your mental health is definitely something that you might have been struggling with. Because I feel that with these charms here, there's just a lot of sadness, or a lot of grief and despair. Okay. I do feel that with this cloud and all these beans here, if you were to get like money, you would get like it in multiples. So it's going to come kind of all at once rather than in, like a little trickle, although it might for some of you be a trickle. Okay. Or you might not be getting as much as you think. Okay. So like, for example, like, or not in like a big chunk. Okay. So like a lot of small amounts or small things. So let's just say you sell things and you might sell a lot of small individual items that adds up to something. I do feel that though this represents the bad energy going away out of your life. So in some way, this being here modifies all of the charms, because it's saying, okay, this energy of like kind of like this hyper vigilant, needing to cover your ass, needing to keep an eye out, like one eye open every night, all night. This is where that's going to end. And this energy of this pink pig, which is having to go it alone, having to do so much on your own, or having to do hard things without the things you need, that's going away. Okay. There's this energy of really wanting to focus on love and romance. And for some of you, get back on the horse, you know? I feel like there's a lot of focus on fertility, or focus on pregnancy, or focus on becoming a mother, or becoming, you know, having a family. And I feel like that is something that's going to come to pass. And I feel like for many of you, you might be surprised at how your love life blossoms over this winter and next spring. I want to say by spring that you're going to feel a lot more energy to, I don't know, I wanted to say get up and go, but I also feel like a lot more energy to start new things, do new things. Right now, it almost feels like for many of you, it's almost like wrapping up things, you know, this December energy. For some of you, it's like you're not done yet with this year, and you're not done yet with some of the things that you're facing or focusing on, but like you're kind of wanting to know, okay, like how is it going to go? And I feel like for some of you, the bad energy is leaving your life. And so you're going to kind of maybe use December as like I want to say transition period, or a time where you're working on your goals for next year, working on your focus for where you are in this moment, working on, okay, what are your gardening plans? What are your outdoor plans? What are your plans with a partner? I see someone like sitting down with a partner and writing out like, okay, these are the things that we want to get done. These are the things that we have to do in the house. These are the things that we need to buy. Being very like strategic about, okay, what are your next steps, and how you're going to be functioning in the world, okay? Like, what are you bringing to the table? How are you going to be functioning in the world? For some of you, you're going to be thinking about savings. You're going to have conversations with people about savings, maybe going to a bank and talking to them about, okay, you want to open up a savings account, or, you know, go to a different bank and open up a checking account. But it's like the bad energy around money specifically is going away. And the bad energy around maybe feeling like you can't plan, or feeling like you don't know what comes next is going away. There's a lot of things in the periphery in which you don't necessarily see. I'm going to talk about the periphery for just a second. I've already touched upon the pink pig in this, but there's this peace energy in the periphery. So there's positive, peaceful energy that wants to come in to you. I also feel like there's someone who might still carry a torch, or like, you know, a flame for you, who may have unexpressed feelings of love for you. I feel like for some of you, there's a person who may actually be thinking about asking for your hand in marriage, or thinking that you're their marriage person, or like marriage, future partner, or marriage partner. There's something about maybe going to a wedding, or maybe a wedding invitation, where somebody says, hey, do you want to come to our wedding? And it's unusual for people to get married in the winter, but it's not like, you know, impossible, especially if you go to Vegas. Okay. So for some of you, you know, you might be traveling. This can be a destination wedding. You know, to me, it feels really exciting. For some of you on the periphery, you're going to be fixing things, getting things done that maybe have been set aside or put aside for some time. In the periphery, for some of you, you're going to be buying the house, the car, the garage, the tool shed, you know, the pool. This is like a full package deal. For some of you, it's getting married and settling down and having a family. That's all in the periphery. I feel like this is in the periphery as well, and this represents blossoming. This absolutely represents this expansion, the Sagittarius energy. I'm just going to look at the T here really quick to see what... Yeah, it's just very pink. It looks very pink to me when I look at it, and so there's a lot of that heart-based energy, heart open-hearted energy, romantic energy for some of you, expansion and growth. But it's not just in like just in love. It could also be in, your the way you see things, your perspective. For some of you, taking up an instrument, learning a new language, going back to school. um there's some good things that are coming to you, even though if you don't see them coming to you, there's some good things coming to you because we have the fortune cookie here. It may come through an ex or a person that you used to date or used to sleep with. Something positive coming through them. I feel like you're going to be healing a lot, with this broken sword energy. You're going to be healing a lot during this period of time in Sagittarius season. So give yourself some grace, give yourself some room to process a lot of these things, but know that there's a lot of good that's wanting to come in, and just kind of stay open to that, and for those of you who are like really focused on love and romance, I feel like this is absolutely going to be your time. Okay. It is going to be a time where you absolutely get back into dating, get back on the horse, get back into feeling really loved. I feel like that is something that wants to come through. Okay, I'm going to leave off here. Thank you guys so much. I send everyone big hugs, big kisses, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Take care. Bye, guys.